Hey guys, so I was on Facebook the other day and I came across a recipe that looked amazing. It looks so delicious, and it is a zucchini apple carrot cake. Now, I love carrot cake. My husband loves chocolate zucchini cake, and we both love apples, so kind of sounds good if you combine it all together and make one cake out of it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I am going to try out this recipe and see how it turns out. And to top it off, it's got cream cheese icing on it, which anything with cream cheese icing on it is usually pretty good. So we're going to try it today and I will show you how it turns out. All right, so first up, we are going to get our dry ingredients ready. So I have 3 1/4 cups of flour in here, and then I am going to add half a teaspoon of salt, 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cloves, 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of cardamom. Cardamom is not actually on the recipe, but I'm adding it anyway. We're just going to give that a quick mix. All right, so we're going to set this aside and get our wet ingredients ready. All right, so we have 2 cups of sugar. I have 1 cup of melted butter. We're going to mix them together. All right, now we are going to add a 1/4 cup of orange juice, a tablespoon of vanilla. Mine has vanilla beans in it. And we are going to add 1 egg at a time, and I have 3 of them. All right, it's time to get our apple ready, so we're going to peel it first. Done. Now we are going to cut it. The recipe does say to cut it into just little pieces. I'm gonna shred it so that it's shredded just like the carrots and the zucchini are. All right, so I still have a few little pieces of apple that wouldn't quite shred, so now I'm just gonna cut them into some little pieces to throw in. All right, there we go. So now our apple is ready. So we have our, it's probably about 1 cup of apple, 2 cups of carrot, and 1 cup of zucchini, which I have already grated, and then I put it into a towel and squeezed all the water out so it looks not very appetizing. Anyway, doesn't matter, it's all gonna be mixed into a cake. So let's mix everything together now. All right, so our dry ingredients are ready. We are gonna slowly mix in our wet ingredients. I'm just gonna give it a quick mix before we start pouring it in. All right, so while we are mixing this in, I'm also going to add our apple, our 2 cups of carrots, and our zucchini. And we are going to keep mixing. All right, now that it's all mixed, we're going to put it in a pan. I have already buttered and floured a 9 by 13 inch pan. You can put it in muffin tins, bread pans, whatever you'd like, but I'm gonna make one big cake. So let's put it in the pan and get it in the oven. I have been preheating the oven to 350 degrees. It's already preheated, it's ready to go. So now we just need to get the cake in there. All right, it's ready. Let's put it in the oven, probably for about an hour, and we'll check it. All right, we're ready for our icing for our cake. So we are gonna do half of a block of cream cheese and a 1/4 cup of butter. And I'm gonna whip those up together first, and then we are gonna add our icing sugar, and we are adding some orange juice. All right, the butter and cream cheese is all mixed. Now we're gonna start mixing in our icing sugar. It's about 2 to 3 cups, and then our orange juice. This does not look like it's enough. I like a lot of icing on my cake. So I think I'm going to make another batch of this and then combine them, and then we'll put it on the cake. Okay, so our icing is ready. I made a second batch of it because I just felt like it wasn't enough. So let's get it on our cake. Ta-da! It's all done, and I have extra icing. Okay, so maybe I made a little bit too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. All right, guys, look at that. It is all done. It smells so good. There's lots of icing on it. It's fluffy. It smells amazing. Okay, let's try it. Oh my God. I think this might be my new favorite over carrot cake. It is so good. Kind of tastes like carrot cake, you know, all the same spices in it, but I like that the apple gives it a little bit more of a sweetness. You don't even notice the zucchini. Really, do you ever notice zucchini in anything when you use it? And then of course carrots make it taste like carrot cake. It's like the best of both worlds. It is so delicious. I am really, really glad I tried this recipe. It is like 100% awesome. So I am gonna post that link because, you know, whenever I do follow somebody else's recipe, I'm gonna post their link so everybody else can find it as well. She is amazing. I'm so glad I stumbled upon her recipe, and I think it needs to be shared with everybody. So the link will be on all my social media, and I will also post the link, of course, in the description on this video. So yeah, awesome end of the video today. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and the little notification bell, and I will see you for our next recipe.